Hey everybody, and welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy. We are live. We were unsure about technical difficulties, but we are live now. We are a weekly video game news podcast, broadcasting live on www.chipbit.net. Also, twitch.tv/DCTF podcast.
Yeah!
I'm Lex.
I'm Dan. We do the things that you just said.
It's Friday, October 14th.
It is. We grow ever closer to spooky times.
Oh my god.
So close.
We can be found on all sorts of social media, such as
Facebook?
Twitter.
Oh yeah, you started with. I always think Facebook is like the big one, so I always start with
we
it.
have actually way more Twitter followers now.
I know, because you've been doing Twitter work.
Yes. I've spent
doing that Twitter work.
At least an hour a day, every day, just on Twitter, following different people. Oh my god, it's actually really tedious.
We're also on YouTube, we're on Steam, and we're on iTunes.
Yeah.
You can leave us a review on iTunes if you you listen to this show and you're like, oh, that was a pretty good show. Then you can go on iTunes and let us know.
Feel free to give us...
Or if you're like, oh, I hated that, I hope no one else listens to this, then you can go on iTunes and let people know.
You can do that too. Feel free to give an IGN type review, so nothing lower than 7 out of 10.
Please. Please. Unless we talk about God Hand on that particular podcast, then you can give us a 3 out of 10. But then you can take it back later.
Dan,
then you can put us in your top 50 podcasts of all time list after.
Yeah. So what are some of the topics we're covering today?
Well, as you can see if you're watching on Twitch, we got a story about Lizard Squad. You thought they were gone, but they were still here.
Well, they sort of are gone, because that's what the story's about.
But they're still here in the presence of the news media.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
The echoes have been felt. We got some stories about PlayStation VR and Half-Life on VR, possibly.
It's just another in a long line of Half-Life rumors.
Half-Life being maybe a thing sometime.
Half-Life fan wishful thinking is what this is.
We got a little bit of Nintendo news.
More leaks. More substantive leaks for Nintendo than the Half-Life stuff.
Yes. As well as more Pokemon news.
Oh, man. We got some great Pokemon news at the end of the show today.
I thought we'd do it before the end of the show, because I have the other Pokemon news.
Well, that's fine, too.
So we can kind of throw that story in there, too.
That's our user-voted story.
Yeah. If you want to know more about that, listen to the end. We'll tell you about our Patreon. Oh, yeah. Then we also have a decent amount of Overwatch news, actually, given that it is Halloween, and the Halloween event has started. Things are going places on Overwatch. Got a little bit about Star Wars. Got a little bit about some other upcoming titles. There's rumors milling about, and, possible release dates, changed release dates, all sorts of drama.
Whoa.
Let's get right into it. So what's up with Lizard Squad? I see that they've been arrested.
Justice has finally been served. So, you may recall 2014 holiday attack, DDoS attack on, PSN?
Yeah.
And Xbox Live, both of them. We reported on this when it happened. It was a big deal. Ruined a lot of people's Christmases.
It was a terrible Christmas. It was horrible.
And now... people are finding law enforcement, not only in the UK or in Europe, but also in the US, have finally caught some of the people behind this. Not all of the people behind this, but some of them. Now, technically...
I thought they caught these two guys, a while... They caught these guys a while ago.
They caught some Lizard Squad guys in, Sweden or something a while ago.
So these are different guys.
These are different guys.
Okay.
And they were actually arrested in September. So these are two guys, Zachary Buchta and Bradley J. Willem van Rooij.
Rooij?
I think we're pronouncing that right. Probably not, but close enough. They're both 19 years old. Although, if this was 2014, they were probably maybe 17 or 18 when they actually did this.
Yeah.
But they were both arrested. Zachary Buchta is from, Illinois?
He's in custody in Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it must have been Maryland. So, that's where was at, and the other guy whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce again, is in custody in the Netherlands.
Yes.
So it's European and American law enforcement. I don't know if they were really working together, but I assume they were if these guys were both arrested at about the same time.
Probably. I wonder if these two were communicating with each other or something. And that was one of the things that led to the arrest being made. So the U.S. investigated this website that allowed people to pay to have harassing phone calls made to a target.
Oh yeah, so this isn't...
Why would you pay for that?
This isn't... It doesn't even seem like these guys were arrested because of the 2014 DDoS attacks. It's just that, they happened to also be behind that, and that was discovered after they were arrested.
Right.
But they were primarily arrested, because of this service where people just get sent, really angry phone calls, every, half hour or something? It's crazy. It's, okay.
No, every hour for 30 days.
Yes, one such case saw a person in Illinois. Yeah. That's where I was getting Illinois from. Illinois received threatening calls every hour for 30 days.
After a certain point,
you could just block the number.
You can block the number, or you would just, realize, oh, this is just somebody, playing a prank on me.
Especially if it's every hour.
Yeah. Also, why would anyone pay to have that done to someone? What a huge waste of money.
I know, right?
If you don't like somebody, there's way better ways to deal with it. Like therapy.
Or throw something at them.
But yeah, so the Lizard Squad, as we are seeing, is clearly a group of people from all over the world.
Yep. They're a regular cabal of evildoers from all over.
They're also all pretty young, unsurprisingly, in my opinion.
They did it for the lulz.
And now they got arrested. And they're going to be lulling their way to jail.
Yeah, no, I really want them, while they're being arrested, they'll be like, why are you arresting me? And the cop's like, oh, for the lulz.
For the lulz. Enjoy prison. It'll be great. So apparently, so they brought offline Xbox Live and PSN around Christmas. Blizzard Squad claimed responsibility on Twitter. Around a month later, a hacking tool sold by the group, it was itself hacked, which revealed the names of more than 14,000 people who had signed up to use it.
Ooh.
So they got, counter-hacked.
Dang.
And all these people who were like, I want to use this hacker tool, had their names leaked out, which I think is kind of funny.
I can't believe there are that many people who are interested in using that.
But what percentage of those people do you think actually even did anything with it?
Well, I assume, wouldn't it be 100% if they were all on there, on that database?
No, but that's like saying, every person who has a subscription to World of Warcraft, plays it regularly.
Okay.
It's just not true.
It's just not true.
It's like saying every person who has a subscription on Match.com has, a Match.com account, regularly uses it. I think there's tons of people in this world who've made a Match.com account and then never done anything with it. Ever. Probably. But Match.com's we have over 50 bajillion accounts. It's but maybe half of those people are actually using it after, the first day. So, who knows? Maybe all 14,000 of them are doing it. Maybe that's how big Lizard Squad is. It's 14,000 people.
Oh my god. That would be horrifying, actually, if that's how big Lizard Squad actually was. But no, it definitely isn't.
I don't think it is. And it's one of those situations of, anyone can hack anything and say, we're Lizard Squad. Yeah. It's just when Anonymous does something. This is Anonymous doing it. It's not the same people. It's different people who are just calling themselves Anonymous.
Yeah.
Because it gives you notoriety.
They're all wearing Guy Fawkes masks.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean
they don't fit their faces.
Yeah.
They have fat sticking out on the side.
Oh, that's the worst.
And a big neck beard underneath.
Always a neck beard.
Oh. It's not even a nice neck beard like Guy Fawkes would have had.
I know, right? That man cared a lot about his facial hair.
Well-trimmed neck beard.
If I learned anything from his mask...
If I've learned anything from his mask...
He's got great facial hair.
This I pulled up, because this is a review off Polygon from yesterday. And it is a review of the PlayStation VR. And I brought this up because PlayStation VR came out this past Tuesday.
Yeah, last week we were talking about all those launch titles it had.
And I thought... It came out, so we should probably talk about it, because VR is the big thing right now. And I thought that this review was actually really good. I read most of it. It's very long. I can scroll through this thing for days. And you can see how long this is.
Jesus.
But that's because the reviewer here, Mr. Pancuchera, he really goes through all of the aspects of this hardware and software and like what you're getting here, how it stacks up to other VR experiences in regard to how much it costs compared to them. Like, what are you looking at for setup? What are you looking at for pricing? What are you looking at as far as, like, how does the thing feel on your face? How does it work? Are there any problems? Like, where are we looking alongside the Oculus Rift and the Vive as far as this goes? And his verdict, spoilers for the end of the big giant review, is that PlayStation VR is pretty good.
Oh, pretty good.
The hardware's solid. It, like, once you figure it out, it takes a couple minutes to figure out how everything adjusts, but then it sits nicely on your face. It says if you pull out the big plastic part on the front, it gives you enough room to drink a soda. So it functions very well. There's a couple little fidelity issues, like it when you're trying to sit completely still with it, there's a bit of a jitter. There's some problems if you're playing in a room with too much light from particular sources. He said he had a glass sliding door behind him when he first tried to play, and it caused recognition issues with the PlayStation camera.
Oh, with those goofy little wands, too, yeah.
Not everything requires the move for it, but some games obviously benefit greatly from it. But what he really says here is this system, the VR headset itself, is at least $100 cheaper than all of its competitors.
Mm-hmm.
You can... most people who are going to be buying this already have a PS4.
So you don't have to worry about the
computer.
computer.
You don't have to worry about the computer.
Yeah.
Because it says, like, you're looking at, like, maybe a $900 computer to effectively run a lot of these other experiences. Unless you buy that one they made specifically for the Oculus Rift or something.
That $500.
That $500 thing.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at, like, the gross price point, because even if you don't have a PS4, it's still way cheaper. And when you're looking at that price point, the flaws here are completely, like, you can completely ignore them.
They're minimal.
Like, they're super minimal compared to what you're getting. And he also goes on to say that, as we saw on Tuesday, a lot of software actually came with this. Like, on launch day, you can play the Resident Evil 7 demo on it already.
Yeah.
Like, you just do that. You get Battlezone, you get the Batman thing, you get Rez, you get some game called Thumper, which he says he really likes. So there's a lot of stuff that came out with it.
Now, a lot of those are ports.
Yes.
Although, they're, like, pretty smart ports. Like,
yeah.
Rez is the smartest VR port I've heard in a while.
Absolutely. Totally. That sounds amazing. But he also mentions here, like, that it's not as simple as just... when you're looking at VR, it's not as simple as just porting it over. There is a lot of work that goes into changing the visuals in that game and reworking it so that it feels like a real VR experience. You do have to make substantial changes to the game's, like, structure.
Okay.
To get it to really give you that VR feel. He also mentions this goofy $40 game collection called PlayStation VR Worlds, which comes with, like, a bunch of demos and other, like, VR experiences that Sony has shown off over the last several years at events. Like one where you play where you're in, like, the cage with the shark underwater.
Yes.
Yeah, and, like, the London heist VR thing that they did.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
At some events, it was like a heist thing. And, like, the luge and stuff. Like, it just comes with all that stuff. And it's only $40. So if you're like, I want to try out my VR, I just want to do a bunch of VR stuff, you get a cheap, like, way of doing that. Yeah. Like, you don't have to risk buying, like, a $60 game that's just the one game experience and, like, not liking it. And like, where this thing fails also comes off of where its price point puts it, and the fact that they're going for you're sitting on the couch playing a game in VR. They're not going for what the Vive's going for, where you're moving around in a room. Like, this is like your feet are on the ground, your butt's in the seat, and you're playing VR games.
The wands are in your hands.
And the wands are in your hand, and you're playing VR games. And the biggest thing that he mentions about this that I think is important is that to get the Vive and the Oculus to work right as far as streaming and recording for, like, Let's Plays and things like that, it's very difficult. You need to get everything rigged up in just such a way because they don't support, like, they don't have like, monitor output. You're outputting to, like, the headset that you're playing the game.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Whereas with this, you hook this up to the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 4 hooks up to your TV, so what you're seeing can also be projected on your television at the same time, and as a result, you can record it off your TV, no problem.
Nice.
Which is a big thing to mention because the Let's Play scene is so huge nowadays, and VR is going to be a big thing in that.
Yeah, no, that's actually, like, a really strong plus for that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
It's like plug and play for VR if you want to, like, stream a VR game. So, that combined with the cheaper price point, I think is pretty good.
Now, does he mention Eve Valkyrie at all? Because that did launch with it.
He does not.
Maybe he didn't get Eve Valkyrie.
Maybe he didn't get
But
Eve
that's
Valkyrie.
what I want to hear most about.
Maybe he didn't get
was
Eve
like
Valkyrie because he's a dumbhead.
Yeah, maybe he was like, let me get the PlayStation VR and as many launch titles as I can, but not Eve Valkyrie.
Yeah. So, there's like Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, which is a rail shooter, but those are fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You get a lot of stuff for the price.
Oh, there's so many diagrams in this article.
This article is like in depth. It's really good, actually.
My goodness.
It gives you a very good idea of what you're looking at. He gave it an 8.5. It's pretty good. And he basically says, as you see on the bottom, Sony created something exceptional. Now it's just, is there a market for it? How many people are going to be interested in this? They already have some decent software out. And my other question is, same as the other headsets, are we going to continue to get good software for it?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been our big question here. But I think...
Because their hardware seems strong.
Yeah.
And it seems good.
And if the whole plug-and-play element of this really works as well as it seems to, and the price point's been taken down lower, and, it seems like their launch titles are okay.
They're strong enough, I'd say.
I could see something good in this thing's future, which is funny, because when I first saw all the VR stuff, I was like, oh, PlayStation VR, that's the one that's the least exciting.
But this is, this guy, I had the similar reaction, and this kind of turned me around on that a little bit. They need some real winner VR games in, like, the next few months, I'd say. We do know Resident Evil 7 is going to fully support it, though. So that's a strong game to throw on there.
That is really strong. I didn't realize it's going to fully support it.
It's going to come out early next year. So we'll see after that. Final Fantasy VII Remake for PlayStation VR.
Is that a thing, or are you just saying that?
I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
Will they do it? Absolutely not.
I don't know. How much do they want that cheddar?
Bloodborne, PlayStation VR.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be so gross.
That'd be horrifying.
I'd just be throwing up the whole time.
Bloodborne's an icky game. There's lots of icky things in it. So what's our VR rumor, though?
Oh, okay, so, for all of you who love Half-Life rumors, we got a quick little Half-Life VR rumor.
Can't get enough Half-Life rumors. So good.
What was this article published? It was October 10th.
Yeah.
And basically there was, an update for the Steam VR thing? Sorry,
yes.
My thing is not loading properly. Here we go. Okay, so this was an update to Dota 2. But it contained code for procedurally shattering glass panels.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
With a comment.
Yes, there's a comment next to the code, so just text, that said, used to force the HLVR player to speak. And then a lot of people are like, HLVR, that must mean Half-Life VR.
Oh my god, but there was all sorts of lines of code related to HLVR, including guns, ammo, clips, and so on.
What?
This Half-Life 3? Half-Life 2 Episode 3 confirmed?
Confirmed.
Half-Life 3 confirmed?
Half-Life 3 confirmed VR. Half-Life 3 PlayStation 4 VR.
Should we make a YouTube video with both of our faces on the side of the thumbnail going, whoa! It says Half-Life 3 confirmed.
We actually really should do that. That would be great.
The clickbaitiest. And then the video's only like 5 seconds long, and it's just me saying, like, maybe they confirmed Half-Life 3, and then you go, it might be VR. And that's the whole video.
No, then it just jump cuts to us going, whoa! And then it ends. No, okay, Absolutely. So this is hilarious because it just shows how much people dig through things all the time.
Oh, the over-analysis and, like, wishful thinking.
Because these were, like, lines of text next to lines of code.
Yeah.
Why would you even...
I mean, maybe they are making a Half-Life VR thing. I don't care. because I've played Half-Life 1 and 2 already, and I just want a new game. Like, stop remaking Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and just make the third one.
Well, that's funny, because it goes to our assumption that if it would be Half-Life VR, it would be some sort of port of an older Half-Life game. But who's to say they couldn't make Half-Life 3 as a VR game?
They could. I'm assuming it'd just be a port of Half-Life 2
It probably would be. Because they don't want to put all of those man-hours into a game that they don't need to. They don't need to do it.
No.
They make so much money.
Why bother?
You know?
So we'll see. I don't be... If you're listening to this and you really love Half-Life and you're super hyped about this, like, maybe dial it back and don't be. Because it's probably not going to end up the way you want it to. EVE Online, not EVE Valkyrie. EVE Online.
EVE Online.
So what's happening to EVE Online?
We reported recently that EVE Online is going free to play.
Yes.
And when they decided it was going to go free to play, they decided, we can update the end user license agreement.
Yes.
So all those terms and conditions you agree to when you play the game. And apparently they have updated that. So now, if you're doing your EVE Online stuff, you cannot take those EVE money credits, whatever they're called, who knows. And gamble with a third-party site. That is super banned according to the new system now, which means if you are caught doing that, you will be perma-banned from EVE.
People basically ran, like, casinos in EVE Online.
Yes.
And made, like, oodles of money off of them. Yep. What is the world?
What is the world? I mean, it's...
If it was going to be in anything, it'd be in EVE Online, where you can earn things in the game that are worth actual real-life money.
Yeah, it actually makes more sense than in, like, Counter-Strike, which was the other big gambling thing.
There's the story everyone always goes back to with EVE Online of the guy who, like, stole all of his in-game company's assets that were worth, like, $2,000 and then just, like, dissolved the company and disappeared.
I really like that it's an in-game company and it's like a mega company within game and he stole all the assets and it's worth $2,000.
But it's a video game! He stole, like, nothing and it was worth $2,000.
That's true.
If you think about it that way, he stole data. Like, he stole a line of code.
But, Dan, in the 21st century, isn't all money data?
Are you implying
I'm talking about
we've entered the era of cybercrime?
Yes. We have we started with a cybercrime story. Can I just point out I forgot to point it out earlier, but the charges for those guys was cybercrime.
Yes.
It was literally cybercrime.
Have you seen that book from the 1970s? Of, like, in the future, there will be cybercrime.
I have not, but
And it's a picture of, like, a dude with, like, a weird hat in a computer, like, room with, like, circuitry all over the walls, like, stealing a box. And there's a dude in the doorway with a different weird helmet and a laser gun. And he's like, stop! Like, he's the cyber police. And he's like, that's cybercrime. It's just like regular crime, but more cybery looking. That's cybercrime. A man walks into your computer and steals a box.
I really like the term cyber police.
The cyber police have to stop him. Oh my god. Cosmic Cop. It's Cosmic Cop. Mad Car appears and steals all your cyber data. So yeah, like you said, I buy this more in EVE than Counter-Strike. It makes more sense to me in this context for sure. But I mean, good for them for cracking down on it. That's fine.
There's some
really have a problem with that.
There's some really funny in-game drama that has to do with this, where it talks.
Oh, I am sure there is.
It's so funny. It's apparently the gambling consortium.
Oh I love that word.
Yeah, I want ISK. Is
ISK.
Yeah,
that's the in-game currency.
Yeah. Which is a third party. They're a site that operates outside of EVE.
Yes.
So they were the kind of people who would be shut down by this. Earlier this year, apparently they funded a massive effort to unseat the most powerful player-led faction in the game.
It was known as World War B.
Why did you call it World War B? For one thing, it's not a world war because you're spanning a galaxy, so that doesn't make sense to call it that. And B, like, that just sounds stupid.
Bro, it rolled back the sphere of influence long held by the Imperium, run by the infamous Alex the Mittani Giant Turco.
Whatever.
He's infamous.
He's
a real life Palpatine. The Imperium? And then a bunch of the mob running the casinos were like, man, this guy's gotta go.
Yeah, that is basically what happened, but it's so funny.
This is like if the Hutts were just like, I don't like that Palpatine guy, and they put all their Hutt dollars into the rebellion.
Exactly. I wonder if that's really what happened. Is that what Rogue One is going to reveal to us?
I hope so. It's just the Hutts.
It's just the Hutts funding it.
Yeah.
No, but what's so funny about this is, like, nobody cares. You're not important. This wasn't an important event. Alex, the Mittani Giant Trico, you're not an important person. I'm sorry. I want ISK...
Says somebody whose life wasn't shattered by World War B.
I want ISK is not a real consortium. You're just a bunch of losers playing EVE Online too much. That's all you are.
Dude, if we were an Imperium system right now, you'd be executed for that. Dial it back! Dial it back!
But okay, so the drama...
I can hear the cyber police at our door.
Can't even keep it together. Okay, but no, so the drama in this is when they tried to unseat this guy. They did not succeed, yeah. But it was World War B.
But dude,
it was a big deal.
They pushed back his long-held sphere of influence.
Yeah. Palpatine's sphere of influence.
Yeah. I can't even do this.
The rebels control the outer fringe now. The Imperium is just down to the core world.
It's pulled back to Coruscant.
Yeah, but no. So then, when the makers of EVE put this thing about gambling in, like the people who run the consortium, I want ISK, were like, oh, this is just the Imperium, like who they went to EVE Online and they did things so that now we're going to be shut down because we went to war with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, it's because they don't want underage gambling in their game.
Yeah.
That's why that happened. Again, you're not actually that important.
He's the Mittani. Look at his picture. Look at his Imperial picture on Twitter of him and like two other dudes hanging out.
They're just in a room.
That person might be a Tracer cosplayer. Whoa! He is important. He knows a Tracer cosplayer.
I can't. This story. I didn't expect the story to be as fantastic as it is.
This is really a highlight of the night. Oh my god.
Okay, but no. The thing is, and the Mittani tweets about this.
Yes.
Is he's glad that these gambling sites are effectively shut down because now we won't have underage gambling in EVE Online.
I mean, yeah, that's good.
That is good. We don't want that. Underage gambling is actually bad.
It's actually kind of an issue.
Kind of super illegal.
Yeah. So, that's that. How will it affect EVE going forward? We'll probably hear about it if anything interesting happens.
EVE will be slightly less shady.
Slightly. Get this out of here. So another leak happened, giving us the Nintendo NX specs, pricing, and bundle info. Possibly. 4 days ago, on the 10th.
Yes, from an article from Tech Radar, is what we're citing. A guy who claims that he works at Nintendo went onto Reddit and...
It's a good thing he didn't say his dad worked at Nintendo.
I know, right? That's what...
The credibility would have been destroyed.
Yeah, that would have been the big red flag there. He went onto Reddit. Again, not a red flag at all, no. And he talked about some different things about the NX.
Yes.
He said that the NX is going to play on your television when the game console is docked, or whatever you do with it.
1080p. 60 FPS.
Congratulations,
You've hit the standard.
You've hit the standard that everyone is about to surpass when all of the new console versions come out.
Everybody always says 60 frames per second. You can play 60 frames per second. When's the last a major game release came out that actually ran at 60 frames per second?
That's true. They often don't. And I actually feel like I trust Nintendo to, like, when they say that, they would actually do it.
Maybe.
No, I feel like I trust them. They had a better track record than other companies with stuff like that.
The mobile portion of the system will run at 900p.
Yeah, so when you detach it from its TV dock and you take it with you, it's 900p.
That's still pretty good.
It's actually, like, amazingly better than even what the DS is.
Well, the DS is only like 240p.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
It's like super low res.
I was looking that up and I was like, wow, I had no idea the DS was like that low res.
It's incredibly low resolution. I'd love a DS that had like a Vita screen on it or something. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, so 900p is a huge step up for a Nintendo mobile device. And it supposedly will also support 4K streaming.
Yes.
So if you're watching Netflix on your Nintendo NX,
yes,
you get that 4K streaming. Again, I don't think, and I said this last time when we were talking about the new versions of the Xbone and the PS4, that 4K is a big deal. Like, they're all pushing it, and it's a big marketing point for everybody, but, like, people don't have 4K TVs yet. And next year, people probably still aren't going to have 4K TVs.
The problem with 4K TVs also is they kind of need to be big.
Yeah.
Right, I looked them up at one point, just out of curiosity, because I was looking at the PlayStation 4 Pro and thinking, like, should I get this? And my conclusion was no. Because I don't want to buy a 4K TV, because they're gigantic, I don't have the room for them, and they cost a lot. Like, they're still quite expensive.
Yeah.
Even for the low-end ones, you're looking at like $600, $700, and that's from, like, TV manufacturers that I don't trust. So, it's still a thing in the future. It's not really what we're looking at in the near... It's in the far future.
Yeah.
We're not in the near future going to be doing that much.
And I think this is actually smart of Nintendo because, again, like, I don't think 4K is as big a deal, or at least isn't going to be as big a deal in the next couple of years as all of these other companies seem to be thinking it is.
Yeah.
But when it becomes a big deal, if you can stream it, the first thing that 4K is going to be a big deal with, especially for more casual gamers, is to stream movies.
Yes.
So if you can stream it, then you're probably going to be in pretty good shape. Apparently the reason why people think this rumor is pretty credible is because they know that the NX is using the Tegra. Is that how you pronounce that?
I guess. Tegra.
The Le Tigre chip.
Le Tigre.
Which is also used in NVIDIA's Shield TV set-top gaming
Remember
box.
the NVIDIA Shield?
No.
I do.
Remember the Vita?
Hey, the Vita's more memorable than the Shield.
Vita means life, Dan.
Remember the N-Gauge?
Oh, don't even go there.
The sore spot still?
Ouch.
From Nokia?
My God, the
oh,
N-Gauge.
no.
But the NVIDIA Shield uses that same chip technology, and that's like the kind of... I don't think it does that kind of frame rate or output specifically, but it can do stuff like that, so it makes sense that this console could do that if it's using the same chipset.
We're looking at possible price points?
Yeah, he was talking about how there's going to be a $300 base model. And
like the Wii U.
Yeah. And then a $400 model that will be a bundle with like some games and maybe extra controllers, stuff like that.
Yeah. And the demo units will be in stores for playtests by February.
Oh. Also, there's going to be 4 launch titles, this leaker says. One of them being a Mario title. That totally makes sense. Also, one of them must be the new Zelda game.
I would assume.
So 2 of them, I don't know.
If Zelda's not a launch title, it's going to come out like a couple weeks after.
Dude, how sick would it be if there was a new, like, legit Metroid game that this launched with?
It would be incredibly sick, but we would have known about it already.
Man, I wish, I can hope.
I looked up the ending to Federation Force and it made me angry.
Of course it did.
It made me so angry. You don't even know. Samus is in that game.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought the whole point of that game was it was Metroid without Samus.
Alright guys, spoilers for Federation Force.
Oh no.
Skip ahead I didn't fit this into like a minute, so skip ahead a minute if you don't want to hear it. So at the end of the game, you find Samus, and she's been brainwashed by the space pirates because she's useless and weak and can't do anything on her own without big, strong Federation men to save her.
Sounds like Samus, yeah.
So you have to fight her. The boss fight sucks. She's in morph ball form, but she's like a giant morph ball, and all she does is roll around, and you just have to shoot her for a while. And then you shoot her free, and she's like, oh, you freed me, and then she gets crushed by rubble. And then the Federation force does everything. And, like, escapes, and then they're like, oh, we're drifting through space. Oh, but there's Samus's ship. I guess she was okay after all.
What?
And she saves them and puts them, like, back on their ship, and then she flies away, and she's like, wow, guys, thanks for saving me. I can't wait to just find out what you're gonna do next. And that's the end of the game.
That's like a segue for another game about the Federation Force.
With Samus just being, like, a side seat, and because who cares about Samus, right?
Yeah, why would you...
What a lame character.
Why? Ugh.
That, like, it made me want to throw up. That ending was terrible. Like, fuck you. After all the, like, animosity, too, of people being like, we want a real Metroid game where you play as Samus, and they're saying, like, no, this game's good. You'll love it. Then no, you literally repeated Other M's problems in a different form. Stop! Anyway. So yeah, if we got another real Metroid game... we'll do it.
They just need to redeem themselves.
That'd be good.
They need to redeem Metroid.
Let's talk about Pokemon.
Ooh.
There's a new trailer that shows 8 new Pokemon.
I thought they were done with all these Pokemon
No! The demo comes out in 4 days.
Come on! You could...
The demo comes out in 4 days, and then there's a month before the game comes out. They gotta show everything.
Okay, what is the stuff?
Yeah, look at that guy. Well, first of all, that creepy dude Type Null got an evolution, which I didn't expect. So I don't know what's up with his name. It's Silvally. But he still looks pretty neat.
So it's like a weird chimera.
Weird chimera thing. Pokemon. But apparently, he gets a new ability when he evolves that allows you to give him certain items that change his typing. So he can be any type in the game.
Well, that kind of makes sense with the theme they're going for with him. So yeah.
And he has a unique move that also changes type along with him, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
We got an evolution. We saw that little like 4-legged dragon guy at one point. He was a little gray dude.
Okay.
This is his evolution.
He looks
turns into a weirdo dragon.
Pretty silly.
He looks pretty goofy.
He's pretty blinged out.
He's dragon fighting type.
Okay.
Which is a pretty cool combo.
Sure.
And then he has a final evolution.
Oh, his final evolution looks a lot better.
Yeah, I like his final one, actually. It's kind of cool.
Kind of Velociraptor-y.
Yeah, it works. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
We got an evolution of that cute little one called, like, Cutie Fly or something.
Uh-huh.
Got an evolution of that.
Turns into a cute bee.
The little cute bouncing cherry thing got an evolution.
Turns into a cute
thing.
Radish.
And then it turns into a big, beautiful woman.
No, why is its design just about how big its hips and legs are?
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's very strange.
She's great. She has queenly majesty as an ability. We get Alolan Grimer.
Oh, I love Alolan.
Look how dope. Wait till you see Alolan Muck.
Oh, man.
That guy's the real prize chicken here.
Oh, he's rainbow.
He's awesome. And in the game, in the trailer, hit the rainbow pattern on him actually shifts.
Good.
And like dribbles around. It looks
What
really
are those
cool.
rocks in him?
I don't know. It's garbage.
Rock garbage.
I like that guy. They made him poison dark type also.
Nice.
It's not just poison type
That's
anymore.
cool.
So that's pretty neat. We got those new guys. It's really neat. I like them. Pokken Tournament is getting a character added to its roster. We're getting Caesar, the evolution of Scyther.
Was Pokken Tournament, I'm sorry, was that the Tekken Pokemon game?
That is the fighting game. I'll play this little video. Look at him go.
Yeah. No, I was talking to somebody about this game recently, and they were talking about how, like, it's actually a pretty good fighting game.
I've heard that,
yeah.
But I have not played it myself yet, actually. I wish there were more fighting types in it.
Yeah, that would, make sense.
Because, like, Machamp's in it, and he's awesome. He fights exactly like you'd want him to, but then they put in all these there's a lot of weird picks.
Well, a lot of them are not the classic Pokemon. They're Pokemon from much later. Yeah. And that always weirds me out, because I'm like, wouldn't your, like, launch roster be the classic
Charizard
ones?
and Pikachu in it.
I mean, yeah.
It's good enough. Whatever. Pikachu's good enough. And Lucario, because
people love Lucario for some reason.
Everybody loves Lucario.
Okay. That's enough of that.
That Super's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
So this is our voted story for this week.
Oh, man.
Which I feel like we should put here because it's Pokemon related.
It is totally Pokemon related. This is great. This is from Polygon from October 12th.
Yes.
And it's a lovely little bit of internet history that was dug up recently.
Absolutely.
Before Pokemon came stateside, this fan wrote its worst and best guide.
So this is back in 1998, where this dude who went by the name Wing Leader, who became a fan of it, he discovered the games through an emulator earlier that year, and he loved it so much at 12 years old that he wrote what he calls the earliest English language guide on the that was put on the internet. And he shared the archive of it to Reddit recently.
So this was back in the day when people used GameFAQs.
Yeah!
I
remember GameFAQs.
So he posted it to GameFAQs. There's an excerpt from it in the article, but there's also a link where you can read more of it.
The important thing here is that the ROM he played was an untranslated version of the Japanese.
Oh yeah, that's important to note.
Mm-hmm.
So he was not playing this in English.
His terminology.
Just to read a little bit of this, he starts with saying, "You begin in a house, exit through the stairs, find the welcome mat, then go out the door. Go up and go through the tall grass. Dr. Orchid will rescue you and take you to the lab. He will give you a choice of 3 Pokemon. I highly suggest getting Liz. Rocky really sucks, and Turtle is just okay. Dr. Orchid's grandson will pick Turtle. You can fight, and you can whoop him with Liz. Go through the tall grass again, and if you run into a monster, fight him. See the man walking by the wall? He'll give you a free medic."
This is great. And we talked about before the show, for being written by a 12-year-old playing an untranslated ROM, this is really good.
It's really good. He gets everybody's name wrong because
but you could play the game and know what he's talking about.
Totally.
100%. Even as a kid.
Yeah, because I read this and I'm like, oh yeah, of course he's talking about Dr. Oak.
Yep.
And Liz is Charizard.
Lizard. You could even just think about it that, Charmander. And Turtle is obviously Squirtle, so obviously. Rocky's got to be Bulbasaur, because whatever, call him whatever you want.
Yeah.
Back, there are peculiar turns of phrase. We like when he calls us readers all of you unscrupulous people.
Oh, okay, so that's a section at the end where he puts one line that says, "For all you unscrupulous people, here's some cheat codes."
Yeah,
so he figured out cheat codes within the game, and then he put those in the guide, and I'm like, that's awesome!
Is Missing Now in there? Do you know?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I know there's one that gets your Pokemon to level 100, instantly.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, wow. That's good. It's good stuff.
But yeah, he said that he himself said this guide was really birthed from missing 80% of the context of the game, but wanting to be a part of its history. I don't know, it's a game, maybe it'll be popular.
Yeah, no, that was the thing. There's a lot to credit Wing Leader with.
Yeah.
Seeing that Pokemon was a sweet game that was gonna hit it big and being like, I gotta get in on the ground floor with this. Playing it on an emulator in 1998, playing a foreign game on an emulator in 1998.
This is a smart guy.
As a 12-year-old.
He's a smart kid.
And then
he used the word unscrupulous.
He was probably a few grades ahead.
Yeah, or something.
But
you knew what was going on.
Thank you, Wing Commander or Wing Leader.
Wing Leader.
I wish
it was Wing Commander.
That would have been better. That would have been a better reference. Thanks, Mark Hamill.
Thanks, Mark Hamill. So we're gonna get into some Overwatch stories, but we're gonna start with one that I found. And now I know we talked about Donald Trump a little bit in context of Oculus Rift, and I wasn't gonna bring this up until I saw the art this guy did.
That's actually fantastic art.
Oh, there's better. So basically, this guy, a billboard post in Orlando, Florida this week has an idea of just what kind of Overwatch player Trump would be. And according to the poster's creators at Cards Against Humanity,
nice.
They did it. Trump is not a team player. That is the new anti-Trump campaign they launched by the company's political action group Nuisance Committee. It's an Overwatch-themed billboard, which positions Trump as an arrogant Hanzo fan. One of the community's most maligned, spammy types of player. There's artwork that they put out of Trump cosplaying as other Overwatch characters. And we have some of the images here that I can show you from this Twitter. So here's the billboard itself. which is, it's...
I give them credit for getting the billboard.
It's pretty great. We have Trump as Hanzo, which is alright. We have a very disgruntled, sad Genji. And we have the absolute champion, Bastion Trump. With the dead bird. We need more of these.
Bastion Trump is pretty good.
Bastion Trump is, like, really spectacular. But, Trump dressing up as his favorite Overwatch character is also very in the spirit of Halloween, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it?
So last week we reported on how Overwatch was getting special Halloween content, and it was all rumored as to what it would be. Yeah, play that video.
Oh, play this video.
But now it's out. It came out on October 11th.
Yeah, it launched much as people were speculating that was going to be what happened. As far as when it was released, because the last event lasted 3 weeks, and the rumor was that this would go through the Day of the Dead, which is on November 1st. Mm-hmm. So launching this past Tuesday would put that at 3 weeks. And then on Tuesday, lo and behold, there was a big old 4 gigabyte update to the game.
Whoa.
That added all that Halloween junk in there.
So we got all these great costumes.
Lots of great skins. There are several epic skins and 4 legendary skins. Legendary ones being the ones that, like, change your character a lot.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the epic skins and lower are just, like, recolors of a sort.
Okay.
Some more extreme than others. Tons of sprays, cool victory poses that are all gravestones for each character.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, wow, what's her name? Booty Sniper Lady.
Oh, Widowmaker?
Yeah, Widowmaker. Is it hers? Is it just her legs sticking up out of...
she's doing like a synchronized swimming dive like into it. Bastion's got his head poking out. Mm-hmm. Reaper is edgily crawling out of his own grave.
Yeah, of course.
Divas has some Doritos on the back of the gravestone.
I saw that,
laid
yes.
up on it. Zarya's is my favorite, I think, because it's just her arm flexing out of the grave. It also came with this super cool, as you can see if you're watching our Twitch stream, the video here, that shows off the Brawl, which is a total change of pace, much like Lucio Ball was back during the summer games. Mm-hmm. From the regular game type, this is a 4-player co-op game. PvE, where you play as there's one character each. It's only 4 characters available, and you can only have one of each of them, and it's Soldier 76, McCree, Hanzo, and Ana. So you have to work with that team of 4 to protect the gates of the castle on the Eichenwald map from zombie robots that the evil Dr. Junkenstein has set loose to get his revenge. This brawl also uses all of the 4 epic skins, those being Dr. Junkenstein, which is a mad scientist Junkrat, which is really cool. Dr. Junkenstein's monster Roadhog, which is also great.
Roadhog as Frankenstein's monster. Great.
Headless Horseman Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
With his pumpkin head, which is awesome. And being a Reaper player, I was super excited when I got that costume out of my 5th loot box.
Oh, yeah.
I got it, I was like, that's the one I wanted. And I've been playing with it since. I also got Anna's costume, which is only a recolor, but it's a really cool recolor. Okay. She gets a spooky Halloween mask. And her gun has, like, spider webs on it, and it has trick or treat written on the side and stuff. And I play as her a bit, too, so that was cool. I got them from the same box. It was a good box.
Nice.
And then, the community favorite, Witch Mercy.
Oh, yeah, everybody's been talking about Witch Mercy. Oh, my God,
everybody loves Witch Mercy. You can't get enough. Everybody who has that costume uses it all the time, and you get that menu screen with Witch Mercy on it, you just leave it on that one. Don't shuffle the picture.
No.
Just stare at Witch Mercy. But it's great. I've been playing it. The new game mode's really fun. It's super difficult. It comes in 3 difficulty levels. And I beat it on easy. But even with a team, even playing with 2 people I know and, like, chatting with, like, 1 random person, we still couldn't beat medium. And maybe we just suck, but it seems pretty difficult to me. We always get killed when Junkenstein comes out and starts throwing bombs at us. Probably the coolest thing about that event, or that brawl, is that Reinhardt is narrating the whole thing.
Oh, great.
So as you play, like if a monster gets to the door and blows up on it, he goes like, another robot crashed against the doors. Like, so it's like got this constant narration. And when like Reaper shows up to attack you, he says, they heard him from afar. The Reaper, his bell tolling. Like, it's really great. And when you kill one of, like, the bosses, he'll say, like, which of you killed it. So, like, if McCree gets it, he's like, the gunslinger's bullets felled the beast. Like, it's really neat. And there's some unique banter between all the characters that you play as, too.
Nice.
They also take the Hollywood map, which was an existing map, and they Halloweened it up.
Nice.
So it's got one of the attacking team starts in a movie theater, and they changed all the posters to like horror B-movie style posters, and there's like cobwebs everywhere and cats in the windows and like little doofy bats and stuff hanging off the ceilings.
Now, the PvE co-op thing,
Yeah.
you can only play that until the 1st.
Yes.
And then it's gone.
Yes.
You can't play that mode anymore.
Until next Halloween, presumably.
Yeah.
Unless they do a different one next Halloween.
They probably will.
I would think they might.
So this might be,
This might
just
be your
this
only
one
chance
window.
to play it. That's also an exciting look at what they might have in store for future events and stuff, too.
Yeah,
It shows they're
definitely.
not afraid to do more different stuff with those than just the standard gameplay type, which is awesome, because I'd love to see them do more really unique things like that. Even if they restrict you to just certain characters for it, it's still really cool. I'm excited to see what they do for Christmas. Oh, they'll do a payload game type where you have to deliver Santa's sleigh!
Oh yeah, that totally makes sense.
That's perfect.
So perfect.
It's so good.
All right, we're running low on time, so
We're
what
running
else
low on
have
time.
we got?
It's great. The patch also added a bunch of other changes that are cool, and the fans really love Witch Mercy. If you want a giant 23,000 pixel wallpaper of Witch Mercy for your computer, you can get one.
Well,
As this article also states, somebody made a live wallpaper featuring a looping video of the menu screen of Mercy, so you can watch her breathe.
I don't know about that.
I just read it and thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, you can get a 130 megabyte, 23,000 by 12,000 resolution wallpaper of Witch Mercy.
You can put it on your 4K TV.
In case you really want it. We gotta talk about this.
Oh, this is cool. So
I'm gonna play it.
So we're gonna play that in the background.
We probably won't get through the whole thing.
No. But this is a cinematic trailer that was released for the next Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic expansion? Or
yeah, for
whatever.
the MMO.
Yeah.
The Old Republic MMO.
And it's great. Like,
Did you watch all the other cinematics they did for this game back in the day? Because I went back and rewatched all of those after this one and was like, oh my god, they're all so good. Like, all of them are so good.
Yeah, no,
Look at them tell a story about a little girl becoming a Dark Jedi in 6 minutes that has more emotional weight than the entirety of the 3 prequel movies.
Exactly, yes. And it's funny because it is basically the same story, isn't it?
Pretty much. Like, more or less. I mean, it's like a different situation with her mom and stuff, but like...
Yeah.
But it's more or less the same story. It's this very simple story of how a little kid falls to the dark side. Slowly but surely. And, oh man, it's cool. The best part... I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. So the little girl starts doing bad stuff, and she starts killing dudes. Or almost killing dudes.
And she shows to be extremely powerful in the Force.
Yeah, I love that part where she's like crushing the dude's armor and stuff. And then she gets taken away by the Sith, and it's all real bad.
Now this is an expansion called Knights of the Eternal Throne.
Yes.
And this is following up I forgot what it's called. The last expansion where they
introduced. I can't remember what it was called either. This
new empire.
Yes.
That they have like a bunch of Force users as like the people who run the empire.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. They don't think of like light side users and dark side users in the way that they're traditionally thought of in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
So just because you're using the dark side doesn't really mean you're evil per se. Also
look at this fucking fight scene.
Oh, it's great. No, I mean
it's so good.
The armor aesthetic for the Empire that they introduced was this
very cool.
Yeah. I cannot remember the name of that.
They gave the mom here like a really cool lightsaber design idea too. Because she just has a single blade lightsaber, but the handle can extend into like a staff.
Yeah.
So she can use it as like a blunt weapon as well. It's very neat. But the big clincher moment here. So she can't rescue her daughter. It's very sad. And the moment to watch is this one. When she's like, oh, who killed all these people? Because she hears someone coming. And this is the part where I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. It's like how a Dark Jedi should make their entrance. Walking up all cool.
Then
and you use the Force Lightning to ignite, like, all the fuel from the starship.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool!
So it just makes an inferno. There's just fire everywhere.
And they walk through the inferno all cool. Oh, that's, like, the best.
Yeah, no,
so
this cinematic trailer is amazing. Well, it really, like,
if you haven't seen the other ones, like, and you liked this, go back and watch all of the cinematics they've done for this game. Because they're all fantastic. If you like Star Wars stuff, like, they're great. They're super good.
And I played this game, and one of the things that I really, really liked about it is that it actually, like, in terms of gameplay, it's pretty much a WoW clone.
Yeah.
But they do so much more with narrative, just even in, like, the quest lines and stuff, than a lot of other MMOs do.
Yes.
And then the fact that they have full voice acting also helps a lot with that.
I've heard the game is worth playing to some degree just for certain classes' stories.
Yeah.
One of my friends who's played it told me, like, if you ever feel like picking it up, pick it up and just play through the Imperial Agent storyline, because it's super amazing.
Nice.
Even if that's all you do with the game, like, it's a story worth playing through, because it's a really, really good Imperial intrigue spy story in the Star Wars universe. The Friday the 13th game has been delayed to 2017.
Oh, bummer.
But they're adding single player.
Well, that's cool.
Because there's fan requested features that they have decided to add, which is actually pretty neat. And I think makes up for the delay. They're delaying it specifically so they can add that content as well, which is cool. Fan request features like AI-controlled bots, playable character Tommy Jarvis from some of the movies, and Crystal Lake's Packanack Lodge as a playable map are in the works.
So that's a bummer that they're not going to get an October release window.
Right.
But the features sound good.
The features sound great, and the single player is always a nice addition to something, I think. Mass Effect Andromeda's release date has possibly been leaked by an art book listing.
This is really funny, and it's a quick story, so we can get through it pretty quick. But it's so Mass Effect Andromeda, we didn't know exactly when it was going to come out. They were keeping it pretty hush hush. And then Dark Horse said, "Hey, we're gonna put up our Amazon listing for our tie-in art book, The Art of Mass Effect Andromeda." And Destructoid, because they notice these things all the time, we're like, hey, we looked at this listing, and one of the things that it says in it is this art book is coming out March 21st, 2017, simultaneously with the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Dark Horse goofed, and they put that in the description.
Yep.
And gave away when the game was coming out.
A new trailer's on the way on November 7th.
And 7 Day.
And perhaps that will have this release date tied to it.
Probably, yeah. Like, I don't think that this is good, like a false thing. Like, I think this is definitely when it's coming out, and it was just a mistake by Dark Horse.
Well.
Oh no.
But that's happening. Mass Effect Andromeda's coming out eventually, regardless. What do we got video game wise here?
All right. Well, let's see. It is the 14th today, so we have Disney Magical World 2 for 3DS. Dan, right. I know you were looking forward to that.
My wife was. I think she got a copy of it today, actually.
Nice. On the 16th, we got Skylanders Imaginators.
That's the one with the 3D printing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's neat.
Is there anything big coming out? Oh, let's see.
Super Dimension Neptune versus Sega Hard Girls? Duh.
On the Vita.
On the Vita. I mean, next Friday, we have Batman Return to Arkham, Lego Harry Potter Collection.
Oh, and
Civ 6. And Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1. The big deal.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of a big deal. I saw you're going to be able to play as a pigeon in that game.
Yeah.
Just like Hatoful Boyfriend.
No. Not as good.
Just like...
Not as good.
Will Battlefield 1 make me cry like Hatoful Boyfriend?
No.
So yeah, not a whole lot. But we're going to be getting into the holiday season soon, so there's some stuff on the way for sure.
Yeah, it feels like there was that big push of stuff with VR, with PlayStation VR, and now there's a lull, and soon we're going to start seeing more big things.
We're supposed to be getting Last Guardian very soon before it got delayed.
No.
And Dark Souls 3's DLC.
Oh, that'll
also
happen
soon, though, yeah.
So, But yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have.
Yeah.
I have been Lex.
I have been Dan.
We have been Don't Copy That Floppy, a video game news podcast, broadcasting live on Fridays, 7 to 8 p.m. on chipit.net, also twitch.tv/DCTF podcast.
And we're also on like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Steam and iTunes, and we have a Patreon.
Oh, the Patreon.
If you like the show, please go check out our Patreon and support us. We would appreciate even the littlest dollar.
Even the littlest dollar.
Even the littlest dollar that you can spare. A comically small dollar bill. That's fine. We have all sorts of rewards for you. You can vote on stories, like the Pokemon Guide story from this week.
Yep.
You can also
get bonus content.
Bonus content, which we're probably going to record today.
You get sexy voicemail. If you feel like shelling out quite a bit of money. Yeah.
And then there's our overall goals, one of which was our Twitch channel, which we now have up and running. There's stuff to put videos on YouTube, things like that. So yeah, please support us if you like the show. We would appreciate it.
I also put up a thing on our Twitch, and I think I put the links in some other places too, because I was like, I can do this. I never even thought of doing this. There is a link directly to our PayPal. So if you want to support us, but you don't feel like making the commitment that comes along with a Patreon.
If you want to do like a one-time...
Yeah, you can just throw us some dollars through that link, and you can find it on our Twitch. So check that out.
Also, we are going to have to figure out when we're going to do our Halloween game stream.
Oh, yeah.
Because originally we were going to do it
the 29th.
The 29th, but now there's another obligation.
We got to go to the Bone Zone on the 29th.
We got to go to the Bone Zone on the 29th, so we won't be able to play video games.
Maybe it'll be on the 30th. I don't know. It might still just end up being that weekend.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. We got to talk about that.
Play some spooky stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you for listening.
Yeah, and until next time, remember...
Don't copy that floppy.